Some of the stuff here is kind of, doing the history in this stuff, they know the history better than I do on this place, honestly, to tell you the truth. And some of the stuff that we do when we're out here is we like to know what's actually going on. We like to make sure that we have the right, equipment with us and stuff like that. So a lot of the times we bring equipment out that we'll test in the field. Now this device here, the REM pod, will work in a house. When you put it in a house, and if something's in the house with you, that'll sound off. Now I've used it in my own house and it sounded off. I live in a condo, but I've also used it at private residence and stuff like that. And it sounded very loud when it goes off in a house. I've used it at a sanitarium, and it's been very vocal with a sanitarium. Now some of the equipment that you're seeing that we have out tonight, like the camera we have here, we'll be able to see every one of you guys, and if something pops up behind you, we're going to know. We're going to be able to see them. Like over here, now behind you guys, let's see if it'll work when we're not looking.
Right.
Over here, in between these trees, these tree lines right here, is where we saw what we believe to be a UFO that night. Now we had somebody that was with us that was a UFOologist and was watching it. Very characteristics of a UFO, because it stood there. It just stayed in one spot. It was a bright white light, and then all of a sudden it went gone out of nowhere. Now, but also up here, the gray man is spotted running through the woods here and down there.
Spotted during the day or spotted at night?
Both. He, some of the stuff here that we've heard knocks on the trees, which is for Sasquatch. Usually it's a knock, it's a wood knock. And you hear it and you're going, okay, is this really going on? Or is it just, as a ghost hunter, you kind of try to want to debunk what you're hearing. Is it a tree branch that's falling out of the trees? Is it an acorn? You got to think about it, what you're actually looking at. So what we're going to do, we're going to let this stay here. Now, we're going to have people watch that and see if it goes off. We're going to walk up to this area here. We're going to try a little laser gridding and see if anything pops up in the shadows through the laser grid. So what happens with a laser grid is if something comes by, its shadow will show in there. Someone's shooting tonight. So you'll actually see what's going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up there into that area there where the benches and stuff are, and we're going to do an EVP session. What we're going to do is we're actually going to play them back. We'll do 3 questions and see if we got anybody there, so we can actually hear anybody. Sure we got everybody behind us. Go ahead up there, Paul. I just want to make sure these guys get up there, all right? Thanks. There you go. Okay, what you're looking at is a sacrificial table. Now, no one's allowed down there at all. Whatsoever. They don't want anybody touching it, I guess. Yep. Now, how many believe, let me ask you this, how many of you actually believe in ghosts? Say, raise a hand. How many have actually had a paranormal encounter?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see that again. Who had encounters? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
At least I thought it was.
Yeah.
What was your encounter like?
It was actually probably less than 2 months ago.
Okay.
I told the story to a couple people, but I was doing my nightly Thursday night routine of taking the dog out, taking the garbage down to the end of the driveway. Came back, put the dog back in, and then I go to check the side door in the garage. And when I um, came back to go in the main part of the house, I caught something, shadow figure out of the corner of my eye for a brief second, and the hair on my arms and neck went up, and I didn't know or how to explain it. Didn't really say anything about it for a week until I did the same routine, and the following week, nothing happened that time, but I went into the house, my wife was in the kitchen, and I told her about the story, and she said that she had felt something too, but I don't know if she had seen anything like I did. And the only thing I could chalk it up to is my mom passed away a little over a year ago, and she lived with us until the very end, and she died of cancer, so
I'm sorry to hear that.
I didn't know if it could have been something with her. With her, it was around her birthday, so
It could be her just saying hello.
yeah, it wasn't like anything disturbing other than it startled her.
What was your attack? Your kind of
Me?
yeah.
Actually, it happened this past week. I've had several with my grandmother, but his mom, I worked with her, and I'm at the same office, and I just recently told him this story. There's a big shelf, been there sturdy for years. There's one book, I mean, it's dusty. It's dusty all around, and this week it went flying off the shelf. I'm the only person in the room sitting there. Just, it was odd. And there was a book she used to make jokes about all the time.
Who else has had an encounter? Sorry for the light, guys. Who else has? You have?
Yeah.
What happened to you?
Well, I woke up in the middle of the night to my sister screaming, crying. And there was like little ball, like an orb in our closet. And like, yeah, so we were freaking out. And then in the morning, there was like a handprint on one of the dresses in the closet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys take photos of it?
No, we were really little.
Now, what are some of the things that, what are the 4 classifications of the spirit? Does anybody know? You've got a residual, which plays itself like back in time. It doesn't even know that you're there. Right. You got an intelligent haunting, which will move things, touch you, let you know that it's there. Third one is a pretty scary one. It's a demonic entity, and it's low. It's definitely lower than the next one. Demonic, you know what you're dealing with by then. It's pretty rough. I've heard of cases where it's been pretty rough. The next one is a poltergeist. All you guys see the movie Poltergeist. Have you guys? I actually got to live one of those kind of cases in Kentucky, New Hampshire. House was built back in 1970. These people, the owner of the house actually worked at Concord State Hospital. He brought one home with him after going up into one of the wings that's actually been closed off for a long time. We were there, I was there with 2 other investigators from Haunted, and what happened was the lights would turn on and off. We turned the lights on, and all of a sudden you saw the light bulbs go plop, 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 plop. TV turned on and off by itself. Footsteps, alarm, we set up trigger objects all around for motion alarms, motion lights, shadow detectors, everything. It was all going on, and the TV would not stop going on and on at all. And we unplugged it, and it still did it. And then we actually caught, the last thing we caught for the night was a door opening all by itself there. The homeowner was so scared they actually moved the next day after they saw the evidence that we had.
Not like the movies, right?
Not like that.
Tough it out.
They were going to tough it out. Come to find out, their house was actually sitting on an Indian burial ground area, just like in the Poltergeist movie. But there was also settlers that were killed right there that was bothering them quite a bit. So you never know what you're going to go, especially when you go to a haunted location. Now, anybody ever gone to a real, down to earth haunted location?
Fort Knox, was that
Maine?
Maine?
Yep.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, I've been to that one.
Yeah.
I actually had an encounter there. That was actually a really cool place.
Yeah, that was.
I actually, Fort Knox in Maine, Haunted New England got access to go in and film at Fort Knox, and we had some interesting things. One of my investigators and one of the owners of Haunted actually got scratched down his neck in one of the battery areas. And then myself got held in place on one of the long hallways and we were looking at the thermal camera during that time, and they could actually see a handprint right on my face, like someone was touching me at that point. It was really cold and I was hot, so we actually have that thermal image.
We had a friend that went to Gettysburg a few years ago.
Yep.
She said that they were down by, I don't know Gettysburg that well, but is there a water area? And
Paul, you've been down to Gettysburg, right?
Last weekend,
Last weekend.
we encountered quite a bit.
she said that she felt something walk right through her and it took her breath away.
Now, see, Paul went down there last weekend, and they got an interesting photograph while they were there. It's a child, right, Paul?
A little boy, correct?
A little boy. He actually caught on photographic evidence.
We also, on EVPs, we caught drums being played. And it was 10 o'clock
Hey,
at night.
Kelly.
And it was, the field was
Shut
black.
all lights off on that, because you're sounding, with the flashlights are actually setting it off. Glad they're right next to me. Now, what's your take? Do you believe in ghosts, all of you?
Yes.
I'm a skeptic.
You're a skeptic?
Good.
It's always good to be a
Yep,
skeptic.
it's always good to have one in the crowd.
Yes, trust me. I have skeptic on a few cases where I didn't think anything was happening. We've had cases like last night. We had a case where this couple just bought a mobile home, and a gentleman died of AIDS in the house. And he started off nicely until he started using profanity during our spirit box session. He actually started swearing at everybody in the whole thing. Started calling my investigators names. So it depends, where you go for investigation. Now, have any of you guys ever thought about joining a team and investigating the paranormal? You have? Now, I can tell you this, and Paul can tell you this. Now, Paul here has been doing this for 32 years. That's a long time to be investigating.
Started when I was 16.
16 years old. I've been doing this for 6 years. I'm not even close to his caliber as an investigator. I'll tell you that much. He is absolutely... The REM pod's still on. That's good. Now, being 32 years in the field, Paul, what have you encountered in your travel?
Well, Eric, do you want to take this camera?
Yeah.
I will take the camera.
Got it. In Edgewater Park, have you guys ever heard of Edgewater Park in New Jersey? They have a big national cemetery. A lot of the times they go in there, they walk their families, their dogs, and everything. But it's been reported to be haunted by a woman in a Civil War outfit. She was spotted in there, and also a sailor. Well, we went in just to do like a quick just EVP session. Just had digital cameras, just took pictures, and we were just walking around. And next thing you know, we looked up, and coming up the road towards us was a gentleman, a sailor. He had his head down. Now, I don't know if you guys know how sailors walk, but they had, I guess the older people like us would know, they had the white shirts, the black ties, the tight white pants, but when it got to the knees, it flared out like bell bottoms from the 70s. That's how he looked. He had his one hand in his pocket like this, and he was walking like this. And he just kept coming at me. And while we got like maybe from here to where Eric and I are standing, he just looked at me. I said hi. He just nodded his head. I just walked around. I thought he was a little strange, but he looked just like us. So I just like made a right, took about 5 steps, turned around, and he was gone. This was in the daytime. That was a full body apparition. A full body apparition is extremely rare. To actually see like a full body, and Eric can tell you. Sometimes when you see a spirit, you can see him from the waist up. Sometimes you can see him from the waist down with no chest or head or anything. That's like, out of all the investigations I did, that one sticks out in my mind the most out of any of them.
Now, see, Paul's on 3 different teams in the paranormal field. He's part of the BCPI out of New Jersey. He's also part of Paranormal 66. Do I get that right?
Yep.
And he's also part of Haunted in New England, our newest member of the team. Now, Paul came up here tonight, 5.5 hours to investigate this. He's actually coming back tomorrow with his family to actually investigate, not investigate, but just come up here and sightsee.
Check it out.
Yeah, see what is actually going on. Just having a good time before they head back to New Jersey. Anybody out of state from here tonight? Everybody from New Hampshire?
Massachusetts.
Maine?
Maine.
What part of Maine?
Freeport.
Oh, nice area. Massachusetts, what part?
Westford.
Westford? I grew up in Lynn, Mass. So not too far.
I can honestly say it's beautiful up here. Beautiful.
What do you guys see?
Oh, that's it. Oh, it just looks beautiful out here.
Watch the skyline, because you never know what you're going to see.
Yeah, that's why I was looking at that.
Never know what you're going to see out there. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to do a little EVP session. All right. Now, during this time, we're not going to have anybody say anything. I'm going to ask 3 random questions. Okay? And what we're going to do is going to play it back. See if we can hear exactly what's going on. See if there's anything here with us right now. These guys are having their little time over there, so let's see what happens. Okay. Eric and Paul and the crew from Haunted New England, American Stonehenge, EVP Session 1. Is there anybody here right now that would like to speak with any one of us in the group tonight? If there is, could you please say your name? How many people are in this group right now, if you could tell us? Where is Paul from? Could you tell me that? And EVP. Now, one of the things that goes on during an EVP session, okay, is you got to rule out all whispers, burps, and other bodily functions during that time. Heavy breathing from people, stuff like that. These guys talking behind us, you got to kind of rule that part out, because what they're saying over there could be picked up by this. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, see if I have it on me. I do. This is a Tascam recorder. A Tascam recorder is made actually for the music industry.
Multi-tracks.
Right. And I use it for recording EVPs. Now it has 2 microphones, an X and a Y, and I love it. It's great for catching EVPs. I've caught some of my best evidence with it during investigations. So what I'm going to do is let that run. While that's running, I'm going to try to see what this has to say. Okay, that's weird. It's not playing. Okay.
Eric, Paul, and the crew from Haunted New England, American Stonehenge, EVP Session 1. Is there anybody here right now that would like to speak with any one of us in the group tonight? If there is, can you please say your name?
As you can hear, that's somebody moving.
How many people are in this group right now, if you could tell us?
You hear that slow whisper? Did you guys hear that? That there was a very low whisper
Where
that
is
came
Paul
across
from?
that
Can
says
you tell
there's
me
somebody
that?
telling us. That's who that's over there.
And EVP. Now, one of the things that...
Okay, I'm going to play it again. Now listen on the second question. After it does it, you're going to hear a very faint voice. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now listen to the second part.
And the crew from
Come on up here,
Haunted New
close in
England,
here.
American Stonehenge, EVP Session 1. Is there anybody here right now that would like to speak with any one of us in the group tonight? If there is, can you please say your name? How many people are in this group right now, if you could tell us?
Do you guys hear it a little bit? So there's
Where is
something
Paul
that's
from?
actually standing here with
Can you
us
tell me that?
right now, up here. So now you can hear these guys.
And EVP.
That's okay.
Now,
So
one
that
of the
tells you
things
right there that you have to throw that last EVP out, but the second one during the real-time EVP is actually an EVP caught. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have each one of you try. Who wanted to be on our team here?
Oh.
That was you? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you try 3 questions, all right? Make sure you state your name, who you are, and at the last question, ask the spirit, what is my name? And see if it'll come up with your name back. Okay?
So 3 questions?
3 questions, and leave a space in between them. Okay? You're all set.
My name is Dawn. Are you a female? Or are you a male? How old are you? What's my name?
As you heard, Steve was over there talking for a second, so that kind of... Okay, everybody listen.
My name is Dawn. Are you a female? Or are you a male? How old are you? What's my name?
As you heard, Steve was over there talking for a second.
Second question.
Yeah.
Second question, want me to play it again?
Yeah.
Okay. Paul, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking on the second question also. Okay.
My name is Dawn. Are you a female? Or are you a male? How old are you?
There was a voice that came across.
What's my name?
Sounds like a male.
Now, we know that the spirit possibly is a male.
As you heard, Steve was over there talking for a second.
Anybody? Everybody's had some kind of... Who would like to ask? Let's ask the skeptic this time. All right.
There you go.
I gotta think of a question.
Yeah, you got 3 questions.
Got 3 questions, doesn't matter what.
And
you
leave a
answer.
space in between so they can answer. Okay.
Hello, Spirit. Can you say hello? Are you happy? Do you know how many of us are here?
Is that all 3? You sure? Okay.
We have a lot back on these.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot. Hey guys, while you guys are over there, could you guys keep it down? Okay. Stay back. If that happens, we'll try yours again.
Hello, Spirit. Can you say hello? Are you happy? Do you know how many of us are here?
You sure?
So if the red bar's going on,
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot. Hey guys, while you guys are over there, can you guys keep it down?
okay. What I'm gonna do is choose you. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna choose you.
Okay.
All right. Make sure you state your name and who you are, and ask you 3 questions, loud and clear. Okay?
And it doesn't matter what you ask.
You're all set.
Hello. My name is Sandy. Why are you here? Did you live here at one time? What would you like from us? Thank you.
Okay. Now, we didn't really have a lot of contamination on that one, which is good.
Hello. My name is Sandy. Why are you here? Did you live here at one time? What would you like from us? Thank you.
Okay, now we didn't really have a lot of contamination on that, which is good.
Okay, now I'm gonna have you. You're up next. Now, make sure like she did, she stated her name and everything, so, all right?
Hi, Spirit. My name is Lynn. Were you sacrificed here? How old are you? Do you have any remorse if you sacrificed others?
What are you seeing?
Light.
Where?
Keep this moving.
Just floating over there.
There's just 2.
Just keeps moving around in that open area. You see it when it goes.
Manchester Airport.
Which area?
The center one, yeah.
The airport's on the plane.
Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna head down the trail a little bit to the next spot after I play hers back, and after I play Lynn's back, I remembered your name. And we're gonna go down there and see what we can see down there. Now, as you can see, I'm looking at it right now. We can see a fog rolling in a little bit. Makes it just as good for the gray man to come out. You'll probably be able to see a shadow a little better as he's running through. If that is what you guys possibly think it's a UFO, it could be. Or it could be just an airplane,
Yeah.
you know? It could be any number of things. Now, the creature that was supposedly spotted was up in here, walking through the trees area. Some trees up along here. Now, does anybody know why these openings are here?
Solstice alignments or
Very
star
good.
alignments.
Yep, very good. Very good.
There's
Now,
planes. Yeah, okay, well that's not
That's
what
an
I saw
airplane.
over there, but it wasn't
Guess
moving
that's
and
different.
blinking.
Yeah.
It's totally different than what we were seeing over there.
Because that's the funny thing is, the one we saw that night was over here.
Huh.
So I wonder if it has, with Halloween coming up, does it have a certain meaning to it? Why these are showing up at this time? Here, is this location something special for it? Alright, let's head down to, after we play Lens, see what we got from Lens. Okay.
Hi, Spirit. My name is Lynn. Were you sacrificed here? How old are you? Do you have any remorse if you sacrificed others?
Go off the sound, you're hearing the bumping sound, it's probably somebody walking. So, we didn't hear anything on that one. It depends on the person how open you really are to the paranormal and to the spirits. With me, it didn't happen until later on in life. So, unlike Paul, it happened at him when he was 16, right? 16. My first encounter, I was in the 6th grade at the House of Seven Gables down in Salem, Mass. Where I was being, I'll tell you this, it'll make you laugh. I was staying behind, being a naughty little boy I was, from the group of students. I wanted to look and touch everything. You know how that goes, you know, hand in the cookie jar. I'm down in the dining room area of the House of Seven Gables. All of a sudden, I saw this black shadow go from left to right. Felt a cold touch on my shoulder, and I heard "get out" in my ear. Loud and clear, male voice. I ran like a little schoolgirl back to that bus so fast. I wouldn't come off that bus. I would not, after my encounter. I would not. Later on, I became a gravedigger for Pine Grove Cemetery.
Oh, wow.
And during the daylight hours, I got to see apparitions around the cemetery. To this day, when I go to my friend's grave, it's buried there. Because his death was very nasty. He was beheaded on a telephone pole. He's there. He talks every once in a while. And when I go and sit at his grave and just sit there and talk to him, sometimes I'll get an EVP with him. Sometimes I won't. Depends on what he's feeling. On his anniversary, friends of mine went down there, and they actually did an EVP session around his grave. And he had full conversations with them, pretty much. It was a bunch of his old gang all together in one place to see him. And he actually spoke quite a bit. So, why don't we head down the path here. We're going to go through here. The gate is there, and we're going to head down. Please be careful. If you guys see any animals, please don't be afraid to tell us so we can protect you guys. I'm throwing Paul out first. What do you think, boss?
Can we keep it running?
Yeah, what do you think?
This one's pretty good.
Alright, we're going to go this way, guys? Yep.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna end in the trail. Make sure you guys.
Okay.
I don't wanna lose anything.
So you guys know, we do public hunts also. where we take, other than outside spaces like this tonight, we actually take you to haunted locations.
Oh.
I'll let you have some fun in haunted houses that actually go on. Just keep up with Central and with haunted New England, and you'll find out, find some stuff. We've been getting phone calls left and right if we had stuff going on tonight. It's been crazy. My phone's been beeping like crazy. All right, we're gonna go straight down here a little bit. There's a path is that way.
Yes, I'm looking over a little place.
Yep. Walk down this way a little bit. We don't have a tour guide tonight. All right, we're gonna go downhill, guys. Downhill. Now, this is the area that gets interesting. This is the area the gray man was spotted first. All right, but this is also the area we got tree knocks. Does anybody know what the tree knocks used for?
Bigfoot?
For Bigfoot. Now, how many of you guys actually believe in Bigfoot?
I'm open-minded about it.
I'll say that much.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Do you think it's a hoax
I don't know.
that there's such a creature?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It's too many
Yeah.
reports
Now,
reported
there-
for somebody to be making
There's
them up.
different classifications for Sasquatch. Which one of the Sasquatches are actually the meanest? That'll actually throw things at you really hard and really make your life living hell.
What are the classifications? I'm better at multiple choice.
The one from the TV commercial when you mess with
No,
it.
I wish you were. I wish. I love those commercials.
Hilarious.
You're
It's
rooting for
actually
the
the
Sasquatch.
Ohio grassman. Is the most dangerous. He'll actually turn a mobile home over. He stands about 8 feet tall. He's reddish brown, and he lets off a really nasty howl. You know, before he attacks, he'll knock things over.
I've also heard skunk ape. How many
Skunk
are
ape,
there? How many
there
are
are different classifications. Polk, Arkansas has the legend of Boggy Creek. Has the Boggy Creek monster.
It's a good
Florida,
movie.
Florida has the skunk ape. Out in Alaska is the most sightings you'll ever see of a Sasquatch is in Alaska. They have the most monsters, I'm guessing. Well, don't know what. Somebody's monsters rumbling.
I'm a little hungry, I'm sorry.
So we're going to head down here. Now, if anything cuts in front of you, black mass, let me know, because he'll come across you guys. Yeah, if you see a bear, tell Paul he'll jump in front of it. All right, we're going to go to a rock, like a thing down here. Hold on. Trying to see. We're not going back to lawn. Yeah, you want to go down that way?
Oh my god, don't even!
We were just talking about that in the car.
Okay, we're looking for an area. Looks like a bunch of rocks together. The solstice area. It's in a circle. Okay, what we're going to do here, that looks like it is. Coming up to it. Alright, we're at a gate.
We're gonna go right.
We're going to go right, guys. Paul, take them down that way. I'm going to stay here for a second.
Okay.
Yep, this is one of our alignments, probably the most popular one. It's summer solstice sunrise, and sunset also would be. You can see the stone over there. It's shaped, it's got a point on the top. On summer solstice, the sun kind of rises right behind the stone. What you have right in front of you is a goddess that is not ancient. It was created by one of the ladies that does ritual work here. And we always have a big summer solstice ceremony. She uses this area for other ceremonies also. If